Page 370, the Great Smoky Mountains. Now the composer here, Glover, he has written a series of method books. I got playlists on them, I've done lessons on them. But again, if you're looking for music to sight read, method books like this is great because you're going to find all kinds of challenges in there and technical things you got to work on while you sight read. So any method book, really, it's just most any method book used for sight reading. Just make sure the music you're sight reading is easier than the music you're normally working on. And again, you can sight read one hand at a time if you need to. Now, back to this challenge. Let's see. Look it over. It's 4 pages long, so we have a page turn to deal with. We'll talk about that later. Treble and bass clefs, at least to start. No sharps or flats in the key signature, so we're thinking, is it C major or A minor? Well, look at the end. The last 2 measures here and here. C major chord, I guess in C major, doesn't really matter. You do the scales in arpeggios for both, C major and A minor, okay. And 4/4 time signature. Now we get a lot of 8th note triplets here. Broken chords, I'm guessing that's part of the challenge and has something to do with the mountains. Avalanches or something, I don't know. Now I like to take pieces one hand at a time first to make sure I understand what each hand is doing. But this particular piece, it's actually, for the most part, the hands are playing one after the other. Occasionally they play together, but most of it is one hand or the other. So to kind of shorten the video, maybe, or make it less confusing, good luck. I'm going to take both hands at the same time. So at the beginning, we have a whole note. And you'll see in front of the whole note, in front of some of those, there's an RH and there's a little line comes down and a little line across. That's a musical indication. They want you to play those notes in the right hand. You don't even need the RH. If you saw that little line, that would tell you right hand, or the upper hand. So here, the right hand's going to play that chord. The left hand's going to play the bottom 2 notes. So we have the C chord. And then we have the triplets. Triplet, or 1 to 2 end. The right hand's playing the first one. Left hand's doing the next. This is a broken C chord. Right hand. Here. So we can't hold the whole notes down because we got to do this. That's okay. Do the best you can. 1 and 2. Just get this up here, and then as this is playing, you can get this up here. 1 and 2 and then to here and here. It's the same chord, and then here, both hands. Here we just went from here to here. And same thing here. See the pattern? Yeah, we're doing that. Now when you get to measure 8, now you're going to pull the half notes down as you're playing that, and then here, same notes. But for one beat, you have both hands down, here and here, and then we're doing this again. Okay, measure 16. We're here, and the right hand comes up, and that is C in octaves. I'll just tell you that top note is a C. So you see in octaves, C in octaves. See, anyway, one note will be on a line and the other note will be in a space. Either one. It's like if middle C's on a line, this top C's in a space, or this C's in a space. Then the next C's on a line, the next C's in a space. It's the way octaves work in notation. So when I see there, I'll measure 16, those quarter notes, and I see that's a C, and I see that other thing way up there in the stratosphere is on a space, in a space. I figure it's an octave. I'm guessing. I could count it out and calculate it, but I'm guessing it's a C octave. It just helps to read it when you're sight reading music. You go, oh, what is this? Well, there probably octaves go with it. Don't have to be, but probably. Then measure 17. Well, again, all the notes are in the bottom staff, but they got the little line again. So we're here in the right hand. I don't like being up here. I do this. But there's 2 voices. You got to hold this down while you're doing that. And then you lift up. That D is by itself because it's a dotted half note. It's only 3 counts. Same as the left hand. Now they want you to do this. Connect them. Well, if you do this, you gotta do that. I can still connect them. So it's here. That's by itself. Then I'm here, and I'm going to do here. Then I can for the next quarter note and measure 18, then I can change the right hand fingering if I want to a more comfortable one. I only use this because I did that. If I do this fingering, 1 and 2 and measure 17, then I'm there. But I didn't do that. I did that because I'm a rebel. And then I changed it, so it's here. Okay, and going on, same thing in measure 19 here. The D is by itself. Now here. Now we're doing this for a while. Now measure 23, half notes in the left hand. Hold it down. Don't go. No, hold the left hand down. Hopefully you recognize those chords in the right hand so we don't have to explain. It's easier when you're reading chords if you can just treat it as one thing rather than 3 separate notes, and you'll recognize these. Over time, you'll recognize them. Now, there's a lot of broken chords and a lot of arpeggios. So, I mean, you look at measure 28 and 29, it's just a G chord going up and you're starting way down here. You just and here I do stretch up. I don't want to go. Forget that. I'm just here. Because they're telling you to use left hand. And measure 29, at the end, the half note, they're telling you to use left hand. Well, you go right ahead if you want to, but I ain't going to. I'm just going to stretch out. I don't see any reason for that. This way, I'd go ahead and get the left hand down here ready to go on. Here. Do it the way your teacher tells you to, but that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to play that high C in the right hand. Now, if you wanted to be fancy, you could play it in the left hand here. And then while you're holding it down, put the right hand on it. That's a finger substitution. It's a hand substitution. Same difference. The idea is now I got to be down here. So I can go ahead and get the left hand down here, ready to go. So when I go on, all I got to do is move the right hand. Here. On measure 48 and 49, we have a problem because we're up here. You're up here. You can't go from here to here. That's just silly. So to accommodate going from one measure to the next rather than here, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then reach up and change real quick from this to this. You may have to practice that. Yeah. Because it is sped up by now. So here, to make that change. Let's look at the end. Measure 50, you're just finishing it off. Here, in the right hand, and that's okay. I mean, there's other fingerings where we wouldn't have to do that. I could do that. But, all right. And then the next measure, we're here. And that's an A flat, C, and a D. You see, when you're not sure of the chord, you spell out the chord. That is one note at a time, starting at the bottom. An A flat, a C, and a D. Which fingering you use is up to you and your teacher. You could do that. I like to keep the hand out here, and then here. And that way I can go ahead, same position. And now both hands are up here. And the notes are here, but it says both hands 8VA. A little misleading. All they had to do is 8VA because the 8VA applies to the staff. And when they're going to put all the notes in one staff, it's going to be both hands. If they wanted it to only be one hand, then they need to put this in the bottom staff. They could put in a treble clef there at the last measure, put that in the bottom staff, and this, then they could do an 8VA, and in that case, only the right hand would go up. But if both hands, all the notes are in one staff, they got to go up. I don't think you need both hands there, but okay, whatever. Doesn't hurt to be clear, I guess. So once I got the hands sort of working together, then I'll go back over it, maybe a line or two at a time, and get rid of the hesitations. I think you'll find there's a lot of repetition in here, so it's not quite as long as it seems. The only hesitation right now would be the page turn. We'll deal with that later. Then I'll do the articulation, and this is very connected. So connect it as best you can. Even though you're moving around, 1 and 2 and just connect it. You could put in phrasing But the way this is written, if we're going to do the phrasing, we're going to have the pedal help us. Because we're moving around so much, it's so choppy sounding. We need the pedal to connect it. And so that means the pedal has to help us do the phrasing when it comes time to. But I'll talk about that when we get to the pedal. Then the dynamics. Loud is going to be both hands. Whatever you think loud is. Heavy. Not super loud, just loud. Until you get to measure 17, and now you're sort of soft. That's going to be the right hand here. Here, and the chords can be the same. But here, we want to hear that. That's what we want to hear. Everything else should be in the background. Measure 23, both hands soft. And you're gradually going to go moderately loud, and here. Beginning. Heavy. Let the wrist collapse a little bit. Don't pound on it. I'm not sure what's happening with the mountain at this point, but you gradually, this is like the climax of the piece. And then a measure 28, you're soft, and you're going to go up to loud. Each one of these gets just a little bit louder. Da! Really, I'm loud there, because now I'm loud here, like you were at the beginning. And that's basically the dynamics. I mean, it ends loud there. I mean, you look at measure 48, 49, you get very loud here. And they even put an accent on that first note. That's a little dangerous. But bring out the first note, this note. Claps. A little extra weight on that. Because all of this is heavy. Now, moderately loud, both hands. Moderately soft, both hands, and now soft, both hands. Yeah. You're down away? Okay. Then we talk about the speed. Oh, goody. Moderatos is somewhere in the middle. No hesitations. What can you do with that? That'll slow you down a little bit. These triplets will slow you down a little bit. But the whole thing is in one speed, except for the retardandos. I can measure 15 here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. You would think that's about a moderato. 2, 3, 4, 1. But when you get the triplets involved, that seems a little fast. So you may want to slow it down a little bit. 1, 2, but how fast do you want to do the triplets? 1, 2, 1, 2. How fast is the triplets going to go? Now, when you get to measure, 15, you're going to slow down a little bit. Slow down. And all of those notes are down together for one beat in measure 16. And then odd tempo means take off again like you were. 1. How fast you were going here? 1, 2, 1, and 1, and 2, and 1. About that speed. And then measure 23, gradually faster. And you're going to go through the rest of the page, just gradually. A little louder, a little fast. Oh boy, everybody's woke up now. And then I measure 28, back to all tempo, like you were before you changed it, like you were at the beginning. Bop, 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 bop. Soft. Get a little louder. Now we're back like we were at the beginning. Okay. There is a retardando, I measure 37. You slow down again. We've been through that mess before. And then measure 45 and slow down there too a little bit. But then you get the all tempos to take you back. Now measure 51, it just says slowly. So here you just, and because they're whole notes, you can slow them down if you want, or however you want to do. Don't slow it down a lot. just slowly. Give the instrument time to die away a bit, and then here. And there is a thing we can try here. I don't know how well. I've never been very good at this. But whenever you push a note down on a piano, it dies away. Yeah, buh. Well, if I can listen to how much it's dying away, can I match that with the next one? And then that dies away, and then can I match that with the next one? Here. So the whole thing is like one diminuendo through. I can't do that, but maybe you can. Then after all that, I'll add the pedal. And again, we'll start with the pedaling suggestion, but if that's not the sound we're after, then we have to adjust it. I'm going to push the notes down first and then the pedal. I'm going to hold the pedal down for the whole measure. Change it after I play the notes. So I'm changing the pedal with a harmony is all I'm doing. I'm holding it down for the whole measure. Okay, that seems to work okay. Now when you get to measure 17, if we do that, we get this. If you don't want that blurriness, then we need to adjust the pedal. Here, we really don't even need to pedal it. Here we can pedal. Then lift it up after I play the notes. Don't pedal. That's another way of interpreting it. I don't know which way you like better. You try them both out, and your teacher will tell you which you like better, and that's fine too. I suppose for this little exercise we're doing, we can just pedal it the way it's shown and keep it simple. But I think you could very well get away with not pedaling measure 17, 19, and 21. Now going from measure 27 to 28. You're really loud up in here somewhere, and then we're coming down here soft. I would like just a fraction of a second of silence before I do that. You don't have to. You could overlap it here if you'd like. And maybe that's an effect. But otherwise, a little bit of silence here. Just a fraction of a second of silence. And again, between measure 29 and 30. When I'll be up here, going on, I can have a little silence here too. Here. That's interpretation. You gotta lift the pedal up with the hands if you want the silence. You're lifting the pedal up just a fraction of a second, so you get silence, is all it is. It's because if you want to hear the phrasing, you gotta lift the pedal up with the hands to hear the phrasing, but to do that, you gotta figure out what the phrasing is. Well, here, it sounds like every two measures is basically a phrase. And if that's the case, second measure, I'm here. I'm gonna lift the pedal up with, just so we get silence before we go on, if you want the phrasing. Otherwise, you overlap it all. And that's fine. You can play this whole thing with no silence in it at all. You can overlap it all the way through. It's interpretation. Try different things out and see what you think. Now let's talk about this page turn. We have a thing to help us here, because at the bottom of page 371, you have these notes with pedal and fermatas, means you're going to hold that out. Isn't that handy? Because now you can go ahead and turn the page. I would do it with just pick a hand, reach up, turn the page, get ready to go on. When you're ready to go on, and then go on. Because with a fermata, you can hold it as long as you think. If I play it with a metronome, I'll just double the value because I got to stay with a metronome. Otherwise, so you got time to turn the page and then go on. So here, the page turn shouldn't be a problem because of the fermata. Let's play this together slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do the dynamics. I'm not going to pedal it, because pedaling, you just do the pedaling there. You hear it better without the pedal, so I'm not going to pedal it. And I can't do the page turn. I'm a mess. We're going to do pages 370, 371 first, and then I'm going to stop, turn the page, count us in again, another 4 counts, and then we'll do the rest of it. So, well, good luck with the triplet. We're going to go really super slow because we've got to do the whole thing at one speed. So the triplets are going to seem maybe a little fast, but then the quarter notes and half notes are going to seem a little slow, and everything seems off. So whatever fits, I guess. I'll give us 4 quarter note counts to come in, though. 1 and 2 and ready and go, and 1 and four and 2 and 3 and 4 and hold and 2 and will this ever end? Stop and turn the page. 1 and 2 and ready and go, and to hold, go on. 3 and 4 and off. Aren't you glad there's no fermata on that one? Ugh.